The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
You've heard of sex trafficking, maybe even revenge porn, but have you ever heard of sextortion? We're uncovering a dark and disturbing trend claiming young victims all around the world.
When I was 12 years old, one of my friends and I were on a social media site. We were talking to kids whom we thought were our age, and one of the boys told us to flash our chest, and us being naive, we did it for about 2 seconds. About 6 months later, I got a random message telling me that he had a picture of me, and that if I didn't do what he told me to do, he was going to send that picture to all my friends. And that's when reality kind of set in. If I didn't do what he told me to do, then my life was going to be ruined.
The first time I was contacted, I was 14 years old. He had sent me a text message saying, I have naked pictures of you. I need you to send me 7 naked pictures or I'm going to send it to all of your friends. I knew there was no naked picture of me out there. He just started bombarding me with his demands. By the end of the night, I was convinced. That's when I went to the bathroom and I shut the door and just started taking off my clothes.
He instructed me to go to a video chat site. He wanted me to take off all my clothes.
After I sent those pictures, I felt just disgusted with myself. He started contacting me every single day. He wanted me to send him 14 more. Turned into 24. Later, it was 60 pictures every single night. He would make me do things to myself and I just thought it would never end.
He kept me on this video chat posing for about 6 hours. And I told him, you know, I feel really disgusted because no one's ever seen me like that ever. I haven't even had my first kiss yet.
About 8 months later, my mom walked me to the family computer and she just points at it and she goes, "What is this?" And that's when I just fell to the floor. She knows. I confessed everything that had been going on. My mom contacted the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children.
Mr. Chancellor have been operating for at least 3 years, probably longer. We found the files of nearly 350 victims.
So they flew me and 3 other victims down for the sentencing hearing.
You hear the door open and you just hear the shackles and you see the orange jumpsuit come in. He didn't look at any of us.
I broke down. We all broke down.
He shouldn't be out in public. He shouldn't be given a chance to do this to other girls. No one else should have to feel this way. It's just sad.
Ashley and Sam join us, and I'm so sorry that you went through this, and seeing the pain on your face is reliving that. I can't even imagine. Thank you for coming forward. When you went to that trial, you know, everyone here is probably wondering what happened to him. What was the verdict?
So after a very long 4 years after his arrest, he was sentenced to 105 years in prison.
And the part about this story that was so compelling to me is at his trial, that was the first time you all saw his face?
Yeah, actually, there was like a 4-year span of when we were contacted by the FBI and they told us that they had him arrested. And we didn't really hear anything during that time period. And so probably a year before I got a call to fly out to Jacksonville, I was trying to Google him. I was like just looking online and seeing if I could see a face or something. Like I never was able to put a picture to this guy who's been doing this to me for so long. So
truly operating in the shadows, and that's what makes this so scary is that you don't even know who's doing this to you.
Exactly, and I think with increasing technology, that's becoming more and more of a fear. And clearly he was targeting you guys because you were young, and he even said himself that he targeted your age range because older girls would not fall for this. And so this is not your fault, clearly, and you were so afraid to tell other people because of the shame and embarrassment that would involve. And I just want to know a little bit about how each of you have started to cope and really get better from this.
I never got counseling for it, but I have done a lot of speaking engagements since because there's so many girls who we still haven't found. So I feel like the more I speak about it, the more I'm able to cope with what happened. And I'm able, like, there's just something that makes me feel good knowing that I'm at least attempting to prevent someone to have to go through what I went through.
I have to agree with Ashley. I did actually go through counseling, though, after he was arrested. But after the sentencing hearing and meeting Ashley and the other victims, it was really easy to start talking about it, and just helping other people really helps yourself.